Hey folks, it's Brian with BG Model Workshop. We're off vacation and wanting to get back at the bench. So we decided to go ahead and get started on our 1957 Chevy, the AMT version. So we just been kind of putting stuff together, test fitting, seeing how the hood fits, which isn't bad. It looks like it's going to go in there good after we do some flash cleanup on that. The rear tail piece here, we're trying to figure out how that wants to fit on there. We got our body, interior, and chassis, and then rear suspension taped in because we're checking our ride height. And it's looking like we may end up doing some blocks here at the back to try and raise the back end up just a touch because she's going to sit tail heavy. Our interior stuff looks pretty good. We got to do flash cleanup on that also. And I really do like the fact that we have a couple different type of textures going on with the seats. That's the front seat. The rear seat's molded in as well. It has exactly the same type of detail, so that's nice. Our front and rear bumpers are, again, very flash heavy, thick chrome, so we need to do some mock-ups on those to see if we need to do any modifications and make those fit nicely. We did do some test fitting with our front suspension pieces, and that's a very basic front suspension setup. Where did it go? Oh, I put my axles away already. Anyway, it's got metal axles for front and rear, and it's got. Let's take a look at the chassis here. So, okay, get BG. Put him back to work. So this opening here, this lower upside down U shape, that captures the axle on the lower side, that stock ride height, and up here is the lowered ride height. Now if you use lowered ride height, that metal axle is going to punch right through das engine blockes. So like Fubar always says, ain't happening. We're going to fill those yeah, we're going to fill these. We're going to fill in these holes here, so we have a decent looking engine inside the kit. Now the oil pan, beautiful sink mark right there, has a notch cut out for the through axle on the stock ride height, and you know, that is what it is. So we're just going to go ahead and stick with that. Another thing we got going on with the kit is we have just one manifold. The passenger side exhaust manifold, but what I found in the kit box, which aren't part of the kit but were in here, were these other exhaust manifolds, which are basically the same. They actually look even better than the original one does, and the pipes coming off of there are a little on the long side, but that's cool because we can trim them. And I think we might need to rebend them a little bit, have them come down and then back a little bit, like how this guy is. Not to worry. At least we got this one here for a pattern, so we can set those guys up the way we want to. But basically, we've just been cleaning up flash. I did go through the wheel and tires. I do not like these rims because all the rims have they're blank in the center. They should have the what is that called? Oh, the dust cap for the bearings, the bearing dust cap in the front there. But they don't. They all look like they should be either on the rear of the car or spare tire wheel. And also the hubcaps, they're not molded very nicely. The chrome is very thick. I'd have to strip all that. Probably do a lot of extra silliness for just a wheel cover. So what I decided to do was go through the wheel and tire parts box, and I found some really awesome looking baby moons off a 55 Nomad kit that didn't turn out quite right. And I do like the thinner white wall for this type of deal rather than the big thick white wall. The kit tires did not have white walls or inserts, but the tires themselves look like they should have a space for an insert to go in there. Now whether or not this kit came with inserts, I don't know. Maybe they were supposed to be part of the kit and they just weren't part of mine. But I do like how these look. I love baby moons. I think if we just do a nice color around the outside bead, oops, here we go. Went 1D all of a sudden. If we do a nice color around the outside bead to mimic kind of like what's going on the box art, such as this, I think we'll have a winner. So that's what we got going on 57. It does not seem like a build for beginners. It's got a lot of crazy jazz going on, and it's just very, very flash heavy, so there'd be a lot of knife wielding and sanding involved. So yeah, it is what it is. Now, with that said, I must make a what's the word I'm looking for? I have no vocabulary today, but I have to make a confession. I have tried to build 57 Chevys my entire modeling career, ever since I was a kid in grade school, off and on for the last blah 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 years, but I have never had one turn out. This one has the potential to be fairly decent if we pay attention to detail and work on the basics. And when it comes to my modeling, I don't do a lot of insane, crazy stuff, a lot of custom. I don't do a lot of scratch building either. I'm a modeler who just tries to focus on the basics, because I think that's what we all need. We need the fundamentals understood and taken care of. It's like working with math. If you can't add and subtract, you're not going to be able to move on to a higher level. So I've been working on my basics for many years now, and I'm just now getting to the point where stuff's starting to turn out as I envision it. So kudos to me, right? All right, boys and girls, we'll talk to you a little bit later on, and I do have another video coming up here in a little bit, so stay tuned for that. Bye now.